All right. Hello, everyone. We're back to our regularly scheduled programming. We've got a lot to talk about and some awesome episodes to talk about. So, Mike, get at them.
Let me just start up front by saying this is my favorite week of the Arrowverse, and it's a very Diggle centric week. Oddly enough,
yeah.
Let's kick things off with The Flash, season 2, episode 15, King Shark. So when King Shark escapes from an Argus holding tank, Lila and Diggle travel to Central City to warn the Flash. King Shark shows up at the West House and attacks Joe, Iris, Wally, and Barry. And shit goes down.
That's putting it mildly.
Rock, I'll start off with you. What are some of your positives from this week's episode?
The entire episode. I'm gonna go over it every single time that we get through an episode this year. It seems that we get a really good movie line. We're gonna need a bigger Flash. That just made me happy. Man, King Shark looked so damn good all episode. There was no scrunch in the budget.
Nope.
And he was in it for a long time. I was so scared that they were only going to show him for like 2 minutes. You were going to see a lot of implied. I don't think it's as bad as everyone says it is, but I thought we were going to get like the latest Godzilla reboot treatment to where King Shark's about to come,
and then you don't see
cut to a video camera, and you see like two frames of him. But like, he ripped the roof off of the West House. He escaped from that Argus tank. He was in multiple places and under multiple attacks, and it's just all over the freaking place. Actually, for once, seeing Barry in his typical My Chemical Romance, I'm a moody teenager state that he gets in sometimes, actually is just kind of like, I need to get a 1 in the win column to get my confidence back. He's actually treating this situation normally. He's just like, I understand, crap's bad, and I get that, and I'm, like Diggle says, pulling an Oliver and carrying the entire weight of the world on his shoulders, but he's like, I just need to get 1 in the win column, and I'll start feeling like myself again. I understand how I'm acting. I'm acting like an idiot. Just let me have my moment, and I know what I need to do. That was a good talk. I appreciated that quite a bit.
Yeah, I kind of like how, although this is one of the darker episodes we've gotten of this season, Barry still takes this this bad situation he's been in and puts a positive spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think this is a great use of an Arrow guest star. Having Diggle come and be, I wouldn't say like a mentor, just like a shoulder to lean on.
No matter what episode he's in, Diggle always seems to be the one person going, I know I'm going to tell you you're acting like an idiot, but I'm going to tell you anyway because you need to hear that you're acting like an idiot, but I'm going to tell you it in the best way possible so you don't get irritated, but you actually listen.
Yeah, Diggle has probably the most level head out of everyone in like the whole Arrowverse.
Yeah. And to think he just used to be Oliver's limo driver.
Yeah, he has come a long way since Black Driver.
It's Black Driver. # Black Driver. All right. What were your positives?
I just love how just how much of a love letter to Steven Spielberg this episode was. Like, tell me you weren't reminded of Jurassic Park during that opening when you see
a little bit,
just a hair,
just
when you
a
see
little
King
bit.
Shark escaping.
I was waiting for. There's a really overdramatic phrase that me and my friends always do whenever we're playing video games or something. We record LPs, so whenever we're doing something, when that raptor, I think I'm trying to remember the exact situation, but I want to say like grab someone's arm inside the cage when they're transporting it, or like someone falls in, something happens, and you hear this over dramatic guy in the background go, "Shoot her! Shoot her!"
I'm surprised they didn't pull that.
I was waiting for someone to say that about Shark, but But like actually just like seeing him suspended in a laser grid, I had no clue what they did with him. Like I said, you see Wells shoot him with some futuristic boomstick, and he's just and then,
in hindsight, I don't think that was meant to kill him.
No, I didn't think it did either. But just randomly it goes, "Yeah, I'm from Earth 2. Yeah, blah, blah, blah." That like they're just like the 19-foot shark you just took out. No one's going to address where the thing went. But anyways, keep going.
Let's see. Just the Spielbergian feel of the episode is one. This is kind of a positive and negative, but I like how they're building like a sibling rivalry between Wally and Barry, and it's pretty similar to kind of the fun back and forth you see between those two in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's becoming abundantly clear that these guys get Wally's character because of his obsession with cars.
Oh yeah.
Like this episode especially is like the definitive proof that this version of Wally is here to stay. I'll admit a lot of my initial negatives for the character are no different than how I felt about Roy when we first saw him on Arrow. Like he came off kind of like, I don't know how to feel about this character, but then once he donned a costume, he became like one of the best characters of the show until he left.
Yeah. I like that they've obviously said now that Layla's the new director of I almost said S.H.I.E.L.D. Director of Argus. And that they're cleaning up her messes. That could be a good like episode of just Arrow of them cleaning up Argus crap. That would be good. But and one other thing before we get to positive to negatives, I had two little good positives. That Diggle always gets crap about how much he freaks out about Flash, and then at the last moment we finally see Layla miss Nothing Bothers Me. Got freaked out by him at the last second. Okay, that is kind of creepy. Yeah, it's really creepy. And the other was that they did tell everyone about what they saw in Earth 2.
Yeah, I didn't believe for a second that they were actually going to keep that a secret.
Yeah, and the fact that it led to Caitlin kind of a little bit too obviously screwing with Cisco, but Cisco was the one person that would fall for that crap. That was great.
Mm-hmm. I like how they kind of played it for laughs a little bit. Wells telling Barry and Cisco, now don't tell anyone what you saw on Earth 2. Oh, sure, we're totally not going to blow our cover. Minutes later. So everything is fine. Nothing is ruined.
Yeah, nothing is ruined. Oh, also that Cisco's like, yeah, unlike you, I know how to keep a secret. And I think like he's the first one to bust out of the two of them.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I really only have one negative, and I understand there's a sibling rivalry and stuff like that. But man, they need to tone down Wally being a prick just a little bit. A little bit.
See, that's what I meant by like it was a positive and a negative.
Okay. It's just like, okay, dude. I understand they're trying to be that, but come on. But that was about all I had.
Yeah, surprisingly, that's all I had too. I'm sure by the end of this season, the writers will have a better clue of who Wally West is going to be in this series. Oh, should we mention the ending?
Oh yeah, I suppose we should talk about that. Okay. Got me?
Oh,
We good?
hello.
Are we good? Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
I can hear you. Repeat what you said.
Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna check something really quick. All
Okay.
right. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that we're running on all cylinders here.
This is just the part you're going to edit out.
Yeah, I'm just seeing. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that out, but we'll be fine. I'm just checking where we cut off. All right.
Okay.
All right. The ending. Clear this up. We're gonna break her down good and easy. Hunter Zolomon, which has been confirmed by the showrunners that that's who is in the suit. His name is Hunter Zolomon, not Jay Garrick, Earth One. Hunter Zolomon carries a physical Jay Garrick. He dropped him. His body had weight. He was not a speed mirage. He's actually Jay Garrick from Earth 2. And he said this complicates things. I was talking with a guy at work, and this will turn into a negative if this is true. Part of me still wants that to be Barry's dad in the cage. But this is very quickly brought up a situation where this could be an exact repeat of season 1 of Flash.
And we talked about this last time. How this is something we don't want to happen.
How we don't want to happen. How that could very easily just be Earth 1J in that cage. Because, so as this person brought up to me, he knocks Jay in whatever, I forgot the code they had. And then he said, Jay, you're trying to say Jay, right? He's like, yeah, he's on Earth 1 helping us. And that dude popped a cog when they said that Jay was in Earth 1. He freaked the living crap out.
Hang on. What if that's Jay's dad? Assuming he's still alive.
Have we said anything about Jay's dad?
All we know is that he fought in the Great World War.
The Great World War. But anyways, I just, please don't have him just looking like Jay. Just do it again. Please don't do that. Because they're talking about how Jay Garrick, or how this complicates things, this complicates things because of that, we don't know when they were talking to who for the entire past season now.
Yeah.
We don't know who is who at all. Because it's... Thank God I can edit this.
Anyway, Sorry about
Anyway,
that.
that's okay. All right, continuing. And that whole episode just made me throw my hands in the air and walk out of my room. What's your thoughts on it?
On that ending, I can't even say words because because
Jay knows that the dude named Hunter Zolomon was on Earth 1. Jay openly says that. Unless that was Zoom speed miraging a dude sitting on that freaking park bench.
Dude, I don't even know what to believe anymore. And then the producers say, "That's a wrap. See you next month."
All right. You got anything else before you want to move on to Arrow?
That's all I got. But man, what a way to end until March. Wow.
Yeah,
of all the places to leave off, you choose that one.
Yeah, and they said that we wanted this to feel exactly like when you found out for sure that that Harrison Wells was the Reverse Flash. And I'm like, well, he did a good job, but you got me even more mixed up. All right. Going on to Liam Neeson reference taken in this episode of The Arrow for this week. Dark reveals to Oliver that he has William, and he confronts them that he will drop out of the race if he drops out of the race, that he will get William back. Oliver is forced to reveal the truth about his son to the team, for those of you who don't know, and to try and get some help with that, he tracks down Vixen from Detroit to get some assistance. Also, you get to dive a little bit deeper into the crazy crap that Ryder has going on in Lian Yu. All right. Positive starting off. Vixen was amazing.
Oh, yes.
Man, they end that episode with her saying she's only a phone call away. Call her more often.
Yes, please.
But that opening monologue with Dark. Oh, so sorry about your Christmas and everything. Might I suggest that with your wheelchair, motorized? He's such a jerk.
I've said this before. He's deliciously evil.
Such a jerk.
I love Neil McDonough. He's such an amazing actor, and to be able to do a villain role like this is just mwah.
Oh, so good.
So good.
And speaking of, we always talk about world building. Why can't Constantine help us? He's in hell. What? No, he's literally not help us. And they're also addressing that they're bringing up these characters. These people should be able to help. And I'm glad that they're kind of like, for once, just the one time they kind of went, yeah, he can't help us here. We got another person that'll be cool. And the one person who should not be mad about this, and like we said, the person who always is the level head, Diggle, really shined again in this episode.
2 nights in a row. Not 2 episodes, 2 nights. Diggle is like best character.
Yeah, it's just the character moments. And all right, I have gone on to say that I've teared up during the Flash before. And I have a storied past with my dad. My dad was not a part of me growing up since I was in 4th grade, for very obvious reasons that we don't need to get into, that made him a not so satisfactory person for me to be around. I literally bawled for 20 minutes after Arrow finished with that speech that he gave. That was so brilliant. I was starting to tear up, and then they mentioned the "do not tell me where you live," that I instruct her not to tell me where you live, and to show her this after you turn 18. And the waterworks broke the dam clean open. And that was just, whoever wrote that speech dude, you need to write dialogue for the rest of the show whenever motivation needs to get done, because you knocked it out of the freaking park.
Props to Stephen Amell for an incredible performance.
Oh, God. That Ninja Turtles better freaking work out, because after Arrow's done, this dude needs to have a movie career.
Oh, yeah. I think he's going to get one.
I hope so.
He so deserves one. Even if he just ends up as a character actor,
that's fine.
That's fine.
But anyways, what about you? What are your positives?
Let's see. We covered Vixen. We covered Diggle. The confrontation between Thea and Malcolm was kind of perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I really like what Malcolm said. I would rather you hate me and be alive than love me and be dead. This season is doing everything in its power to correct the mistakes that season 3 made, except for one, which I'll get to in my negatives.
I think we might have the same negative there, pal.
I'll let you start first, but another positive. I said I was going to mention this last time, but that opening when we see Felicity in physical therapy and seeing Curtis's husband kind of like having him and Oliver help Felicity gain her confidence, both physically, obviously, and mentally. Because it you can have the best physical therapist in the world, but really it, like, if you don't have your head on straight, you're not going to be able to recover if you're not focused.
Nope.
And they did a good job of bring that point home in that scene.
And before we get away, because we always freaking do this lately.
Yeah, we've been ignoring the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this time, full disclosure, I've never hated the flashbacks. Sure, in season 3 they kind of were on the back burner, but seasons 1, 2, and 4, when Ollie's actually on the island, they've had some really good flashbacks, and this episode in particular has the story really moving forward, with Ryder coming just ever so closer to revealing what his plan is, why he's here, and what the hell is in that cave.
And the fact that they have a gigantic cave built inside, like, around that prison.
Like the prison is basically just a front for the cave.
Yeah. Freaking. I'd love to know what in the writer's room was. We're going to make an island that is really misshapen and weird and gigantic, so we can make it whatever we want. But yeah, and that whole, I understand that markings for something, but they better do a damn good job of saying what that tattoo is for.
Yeah, because I'm dying to know, man. I'm dying to know.
And it better not be just, you were worthy enough to get in here because you have magic scrumbles tattooed on your whatever. Like, but yeah, it's all I've really got for positives.
Oh, I do love the line, like that line. I think I mentioned it last night. We had an animated experience.
Yeah, that, and also you had his baby mama have a very good moment of saying, not just being selfish enough to say get her kid, but also take this guy down. And there was that moment with also the video editing at the end, cutting in between all of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
That was very well done. But just a little moment. A lot of times you don't actually show these characters having human issues, like stuff that people go through. And people normally complain about little stuff like this in shows, but I really actually appreciated the fact that bugged Laurel. That
Yeah.
actually hurt her.
Yeah.
A human would feel that.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel bad for Laurel sometimes because she gets so much shit piled onto her, and from a narrative perspective, it wasn't executed well in season 2, but in universe, she really gets the short end of the stick.
Yes.
And I honestly think her becoming Black Canary is the best thing to happen to her, both as a person and as a character on the show.
Yeah, for sure. And also, with him telling his son that he's the Green Arrow in that video, son wants a Green Arrow action figure instead of the Flash. Like, how old is their son again?
8, I think.
Man, I was hoping that kid was like 13, so you could actually see him meet up with Ollie when he graduates high school.
Oh, that would be cool.
That was just me wishful thinking, but like you said, he's probably a little. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, did they ever mention how old he was? But yeah, all right. Negatives. They do a good job in the early part of this episode. They didn't mention that every single character that knew about his son found out on their own. Oliver didn't tell. But Felicity infers that she all told them when he could just basically say that they all found out through their own means. And even Samantha goes to Felicity, tells her that I told him he could not see his son. Please don't be mad at him. Be mad at me. Two things. That ending was, it probably is the best ending to an episode that Arrow had. But if it would have been cut a minute to 2 minutes shorter, it would be the best episode of any superhero show that CW's done.
Yeah.
Felicity already being able to walk extremely pisses me off. And the fact that she just, the whole thing's done. She was perfectly okay with all this, and then she just calls everything off because it was the one thing. I understand whatever, it was the decision for that. She's kind of irritated, I get that, but you don't call off your wedding for that. That's just beyond stupid. You've had so much worse crap happen in this whole thing, and then she's able to walk just so she can walk out. You should not be able to have her. She gets the chip a freaking episode later. She's walking. And they showed in a upcoming trailer that they're getting married still. And the director of the show said that's not a dream sequence. That's actually happening. What are you attempting to draw from here? What I wanted to happen in my dream scenario for her to get walking, they're still at their wedding day and she can't walk. She's in the wheelchair in her dress. Something makes her fall out of her chair and they go to pick her up and she starts supporting herself as she's getting up.
That would have been a beautiful scene right there.
It would have been so good. And I was damn near tempted when it wouldn't have worked because they're already shooting the show, but I was going to be like, tempt that. I'd be like, I know this can't happen, but I almost messaged that to Emily back on Facebook. That would have been so good.
Oh, such a missed opportunity.
And then Oliver sees her walking when he thought she was coming out in her wheelchair, and he starts bawling uncontrollably. That would have been so good. But whatever. I assume you feel the same way about the negative. Kind of.
Kind of. Like that ending just felt backwards, development wise for Felicity, because again, as you alluded to, like Oliver has done worse things in the past, like betraying the entire team last year, to stop Ra's al Ghul. What he did what he put Diggle and Lila through by kidnapping Sarah. Like, that is so much more unforgivable than, I was specifically asked not to reveal the identity of my son.
Which you could have worked out eventually later, like he said. This reeked so bad of, we don't have a cliffhanger right now.
So we had
that
to
episode was
yeah. So we had to
nicely.
like put something together.
If that would not have been, I can guarantee you, I would bet my left leg, if that was not before a break, that freaking scene wouldn't have been in that episode.
I would agree.
Yeah. It would have been the very start of the next episode. I can guarantee it, and it would have been better off for it.
And that's another thing. Why does this episode need a cliffhanger? Why can't we just have a little bit of closure, a little bit of a breath of fresh air before we ramp things up for like the rest of the season?
The problem is also, Mike, it did have a cliffhanger. The giant cave that the ghost of Conklin came out of? How was that not a good enough cliffhanger?
Yeah, even just stopping the episode there and then just concluding with a nice scene of Ollie sending that message to his son, and then just ending there with like a nice talk with Felicity afterwards. Instead, you had to pretty much trip over your feet with that ending.
That felt like there was too many cooks in the kitchen in that episode, but I only had one real complaint other than that. One scene, the CGI looked a little wonky, and it was one sequence. The weird front flip that Vixen pulled to grab the artifact and then jump out of the house.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, I'm like, that looks off.
Yeah, but other than that, man, it was all good.
Yeah, this episode kicked ass until it didn't.
I'm just like, man, like, stop it right there. This has been my new favorite episode of The Flash. It's my second or third probably, but I mean of The Flash, of Arrow, but oh man, there's just, you had the perfect ending of any episode ever. But
and then you ruined it.
And you ruined it. All right. Let's get back to a really good episode.
Yeah. This is Star City 2046. Episode 6 of Legend of Tomorrow. When a malfunction sends the Wave Rider crashing into 2046 Star City, our heroes face a startling version of their own future where they never stop Savage and never return home. The city is in ruins and overrun by criminals, which thrills Rory. Sarah, however, is despondent over the destruction of her home and stunned when she learns what happened to her old friend, Mr. Oliver Queen. I'm going to start with the positives of this one. Oliver Queen finally has a beard. He finally has the goatee. And he looks... I'll admit, in still images, you can kind of see... Like, you can kind of see the makeup, but in action, he looks awesome. As a grizzled, worn down... broken-spirited vigilante who's lost everything, and the only other person defending the city is John Diggle Jr., or as comic book fans know him as, Connor Hawke. And I gotta say, they really nailed the costume for Connor. Like, it of course it looks like a CW costume, but damn it, it's the closest we've gotten to the comic book that I've seen on the show. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was gonna be a negative, but um, the pseudo love triangle between Kendra, Palmer, and Jax was kind of cute because of the way they handle it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Again, this is another episode where everyone on the team has a purpose, even if their purpose is staying on the ship and making sure things run smoothly.
Definitely.
And finally, before I let you continue, Snart. Snart is like the best character of the show.
He's starting to become the John Diggle of Legends of Tomorrow, which is amazing because he should not be under any circumstances. When Leonard Snart is preaching to you about your moral choices,
then you really had some bad, then you really had some bad moral choices.
Yeah. Okay. They do a lot of common sense lines in this show. And the fact that it was man, I can't think of his name in the show, but Heatwave.
Oh, Rory?
Rory, yeah. He's like, do you ever think that you think too much? I liked it that they had John Diggle Jr. That was pretty cool. Maybe you can give him some secrets about how he has a better looking domino mask than Oliver does.
Maybe Cisco has maybe Cisco before he died had like a school of scientists who helped create costumes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also John Diggle in an episode that he's not in did stuff in this episode where he's being talked about as such a great person and helping John Diggle Jr. with his choices, not allow people to call him John Diggle because he feels he's not good enough to be called John Diggle. And you get that great line from Ollie where it's really, you won't use your real name, but you'll use someone else's costume.
Really?
And of course it led to the end line, which I loved quite a bit, which I cannot wait to hear but Brock, it's a Batman reference. No, it's not. Shut up. The whole that Connor, whatever, it's Green Arrow to me. And then she says, no matter what, this city, they knew that this city needed a Green Arrow. And guess what, people? Everyone and everything humanly possible has canceled before. Cool down, because I can see you waiting to write your little comments on moviepilot.com about how mad you are. Stop while you're ahead. No one cares.
I really did love that scene at the end where Ollie really did pass the torch to Connor. Like, John, you're gonna need this. It's Connor. No, you're the Green Arrow.
Either way, it's Green Arrow. It was so good. Also, one other big positive I have to mention, because I complained about it last week, so I'm going to redact it. They did show him without his arm at one point, and he put on the mechanical arm to help. I have a really petty negative, but we'll get to that later.
I'm not sure if I have any negatives. But here's another positive. We continue Rip's character development. Mm-hmm. Like I said last time that he's not like a perfect leader. Hell, he's barely like a good guy. His whole motivation is A, illegal or against his rules of being a time master. And also, I like how Sarah's just the character to call him out on all his BS. Mm-hmm. Even Dr. Stein is like, I don't care if this future isn't real. It's real to her, so it's real to us.
Yep, it's still real to me, damn it. And one other thing before I almost forgot, one thing I really like, because until this point, Rory's kind of got the whole I'm here to be with Snark kind of thing, and he's there for a moment or two. They're actually developing him now, and him and Snark going at it could be pretty good. You really see who wants what, and that I think Snark kind of gave a BS excuse. He's like, we could be the biggest badasses ever. And that was kind of, to me, Snark coming up with, I really want to help them stop Savage, but I need to come up with a line that makes me still seem like a bad guy.
Compensating much?
Pretty much. But yeah, they're showing some stuff like in that end line. He's like, I don't know who my people are anymore. It's good character development. All right. I have two incredibly, and I mean incredibly petty negatives.
All right.
One, I did not get to see Oliver shoot the bow with his teeth.
Aww.
That was my one. I'm like, you couldn't have someone like while they're going into his hideout, just like have him have some kind of bow, not his mechanical recoil one. Because like in my head, they said very specifically when Laurel shot his bow back in season 2, I think that it's easy to pull back and it does all the work for you. So I'm like, man, just repeat that line afterwards. I'll be happy. But this one in my head had a little bit of legitimacy for a complaint. This is what year does Rip come from?
Was it the 24th century or 31st century? One of those.
All right. It's a good amount of time ahead. They're working on this ship. You expect them to have some space age technology? They're working on his ship with iPads. And they didn't even try to not make them look like iPads. Like, come on. Put some fake ghetto plastic casing over that thing. You just had the most basic leather back flip over whatever those click together things are on it. I'm like, man, come on.
All you need are some 3D printers. Just print out something a little bit over the top, something that looks futuristic, and no one will be able to tell the difference.
No, you're not having Siri work on their Wave Rider. Come on. But that's all I had. That was all I had for complaints.
When stuff like that is all you have to complain about, you know you've done good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk some news and some predictions. There was something pretty interesting that was announced today. A new casting announcement that Stephen Amell dropped. If I can find it. All right, it's not. I don't think it's posted on Arrowverse yet, but there's a new actress that's going to be featured on an episode of Arrow. Once I get that up, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Well, as far as Arrow, I really don't have any predictions because I don't have much of a knowledge of what I have any clue to what's in that freaking cave. Legends, I really got much because they didn't show much for that episode. The only one I really think we could really talk about is Flash, but we could get that after you have your casting announcement. Did you find that?
Oh, Yes, she's from. Um, her name is. Give me a second. Madison McLeod, and she's from Supernatural.
I was gonna say I recognize that name.
Don't know what episode she's gonna be on, but she is gonna be on the show. It's cool how CW has a tight family of actors that they swap back and forth.
Definitely.
I think that's kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm. Got a tight knit stable. Does it say what she's playing?
Nope. All that is probably spoilers.
Oh, of course.
That's
any other?
That's all I really got for now. Next. Oh yeah, just a reminder to those who may not have seen our episode yesterday, but we are Arrow and Flash are going on break till the 22nd and 23rd respectively, but we will still be here to cover Legends of Tomorrow because that show is staying on its regular schedule. That's staying on its regular schedule, but the other two shows are going on break. And next week's episode of Legends looks like so much fun. It's space pirates.
Yes, and I can't wait to see who the space pirates are, because if I see Lobo, I might lose my mind.
Oh God, how cool would that be?
That's the one thing that popped into my head. I'm like, they're doing stuff in space. It's pirates. Lobo mainly works alone. But man, if he got hired by a pirate to do something, the main man would be pretty cool to see on the small screen.
In terms of predictions for Arrow and Flash, I think with Arrow, as far as the grave goes, we can now officially cross off William and Samantha.
I told you that in some form or facet that they would show some scene, because they did it with Felicity, that they'd just be like, oh yeah, by the way, it's not her, it's not him, we got you again, aha. But
but do you still think it's going to be Curtis?
As far as I can tell, I don't know what else I got. Pretty much Dark is powered down and in a cell in the next episode. So it's not Felicity. It's not Thea. It's not gonna be Diggle. It's not Laurel, pretty sure.
I had a theory about Dark. What if he was never actually supposed to be the big bad of the season?
You're right.
What if he was just a smokescreen for honestly the return of Merlin the Magician?
Merlin the Magician. Part of me thinks that since we saw Ryder with the in that episode with Andy when they were doing that undercover, oh man, I can't think of what that organization was called again. Spiral? No,
it wasn't Spiral. It was the strike. It was the strike team.
It was strike team, but it had something close to the name of meaning another term for Spiral, but I can't think of what it was. Spire something. I can't think of what it was. But you saw Ryder in current times.
Oh.
So it could be, but part of me thinks that the main dude is going to be Ryder because we saw him in current day.
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Because when your top lackey is gone, you're going to need to come in and step up and finish Genesis because Ruve What's-Her-Face isn't going to finish it on her own. And, okay, Well, I said that's who I think it is. It could be Merlin too. So we got two things there. Do you think that Oliver, like next week, is going to try and be mayor again, or is that whole thing gone?
I don't know about that. I think maybe. Well, if he does try to be mayor, it's not going to be right away. It may be like more towards like episode 19 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine that he's done for good.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to come back eventually.
And plus, Dark is like looks like a normal jail, and there were cops there that showed that he kidnapped William. Now he has no connection to Ruve Adams, but I have a feeling that eventually they're gonna find some dirt on her.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or he just gets to be mayor because they do find dirt on her, and he's the only one left.
Maybe. All I know is that things are going to be very different moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also it should be pointed out the reason why this episode is called Broken Hearts. Cupid comes back.
Really?
Yep. This is a Cupid episode.
This is that one that she's going to be in?
Yep.
Oh. Huh. I was kind of hoping she'd be back. Huh. That's the first one that when they come back?
Yep.
Cool. Huh. All right, sweet.
Now on the Flash side, trajectory. Obviously, she's going to cause some mischief.
Yeah.
And I bet she is the reason why they introduced the more of a dick version of J. Jonah Jameson.
True.
Because they need some sort of human foil for the Flash to frame him for crimes he didn't commit.
Yep. And that's pretty good way to do it with they just keep pulling. I thought the Bat Family was big. They are literally pulling speedsters out of their backside. Like when they start when Impulse and Cobalt Blue come into the show, it's anything because I didn't know Trajectory was a character at all.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
And they have Jesse Quick there, who isn't a character yet, but is gonna be there since she's permanently on Earth 1. And they've got a decent actress to play her, so I see her having some longevity.
Same with Wells too.
Yeah, that's one. They don't get rid of Wells.
Please don't get rid of Wells.
I don't care what Earth he's got to be from. Just don't get rid of him. But yeah, you got anything else? Who do you? Okay. Also, there was a meme that came up that when that guy was knocking on that glass for Flash, because I say it's the last thing we can do before we wrap up of who he is. He knocked Jay, and then Jesse goes, "It's Jason Todd."
I love that so much.
It just would have been so great if they would have had a wherewithal to be Jason, Jay. Oh, that would have been great. Or Jason, Jared. Oh, Jay, got you.
Oh, but your question is, who is the man in the mask?
And no, moviepilot.com. It is not Earth 2 Wally. The character is white.
Part of me still thinks it's Henry.
I still think it's Henry too, because they said in that same article where they were very specific about making sure everyone knows that he's Hunter Zolomon and not a different version of Jay, that the guy who is in that mask is a bigger shock than them finding out that Solomon is Zoom.
Because if it is Henry, then I will easily forgive him for missing out on Christmas.
Yeah. Because because it would also explain why you magically just haven't had him on the show at all. For no reason. But yeah, I hope it's that. I'm just waiting. Because if that mask comes off and it's another Jay Garrick,
then we're going to have some problems.
My head is going to explode. Because I don't know. But okay. If that is his dad, Henry Allen might keep in mind he knows about Jay. Henry knows about Jay, right? He met him, didn't he?
I think so.
In the one episode. So Henry would know what Jay looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Henry would also know what Zoom looks like without his mask on.
Oh.
The guy in the cage royally freaked out when he found out that Jay is helping them.
So
I think that might be Henry. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I'm not going to be right about. I'm 9,000% sure that I know it's going to be someone completely insignificant if it's not Curtis, but I think I might be right about Henry. I was wrong about him being Earth 2 Zoom, but yeah, I think I've still got that. All right. Anything before we close?
That's about all. We covered a lot of ground this episode.
Sweet. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. And we're going to put a thing up in the Facebook group for questions because the next few weeks are going to be incredibly, and I mean incredibly short shows, like 20 minutes. So if you have any questions or anything that you would like us to answer, we are going to put a thing up in the Facebook group each week for those episodes to see if there's any questions you guys want answered so we can make it a solid half an hour for the show. So, all right. I am Brock Emmerich. You can find me in Geeks and Gamers as an admin and at the Sons and Daughters of Movie Talk and at WayneTech7 on Twitter. Michael, where can I find you?
My name is Mike. You can find me at Captain K42 on Twitter and look for me in the Geeks and Gamers Facebook group and the Sons and Daughters of Movie Talk Facebook group. I am an admin on both of those. And don't forget to sign up for geeksandgamers.com. Check out the Geek Boards. We've got great content every day. Lots of fun discussions going on there. And also don't forget to subscribe to the Geeks and Gamers YouTube channel. A lot of great content, including our show, We Are Geek, and also various movie reviews, vlogs, all sorts of good stuff. So stay tuned for lots of awesome content coming your way.
Definitely. All right. We will see you guys next week.